Hi, I'm Will and welcome to Venture to Rome. On this channel, we go on epic adventures, we do gear reviews, and we do rig modifications. So today, we're working on my rig, Finn. For those of you who don't know, Finn is my 2013 Jeep Wrangler JKU Sahara. Now, last year, I put on 488 gears on Finn to make it more capable off-road. And while the gears were out, I also put on an ARB locker on the front and back. Well, my front locker has become finicky, get it? And isn't locking. There seems to be a leak somewhere. I've looked at it, can't really find the leak. Think maybe it's coming from inside the locker. So today I'm driving over to meet some experts who can help me spot the issue and hopefully make a plan on how to fix it.
So I arrived at Garden City Classics, which is a new business developed by the guys who recently purchased Rod's Auto Repair. The idea is they will leverage one of their garages to focus on resto mods. So I naturally wanted to get in there before anybody else and see what they have cooking. And boy, oh boy, did I find something great. The owners, Chris and Jalen, have been working on restoring this old Jeep Wagoneer, and I couldn't take my eyes off of it. So I asked them to step in and walk me through how they've been restoring this rig and tell me a little bit more about Garden City Classics.
This one we started by bringing it in here. It was just a rusty red clay mess from Georgia, and we just painted this. This one actually is just painted. We brought it in here, took the frame off, had everything blasted down and cleaned up, and undercoated the bottom of the chassis, sent it off to paint, and then since it's been back, we've been stuffing the motor in it, and we did put the 4L60E transmission in it. Then we did a rear disc brake conversion on it. I did all custom copper coated steel brake lines just because of the gold. He wants to be able to put his spare tire back underneath the back of it. So we're modifying his stock fuel tank to work the fuel injection and wiring it up and making sure everything's good.
With just a few more pieces of this puzzle, Chris and Jalen expect the Wagoneer to be hitting the trails really soon. It takes a different level of mechanical skill mixed with care and patience to run this type of business. So I asked what they wanted to be known for.
I'd like to be known just for the high quality builds and for being able to deliver what the customer wants and, you know, figure out what they want versus what we can do and get it done somewhere in the middle there.
After oohing and awing over the projects they have at Garden City Classics, it was time to focus on what was plaguing Finn.
Finn is just about ready to be lifted up on the lift. And we're gonna take a look at what is going on with the locker. So we're gonna talk with Jalen, Chris, and some other amazingly talented techs to figure out where the leak is coming from.
Once I saw the resto mods at Garden City Classics, I texted Chris to come join me. I wanted him to see what we were doing with Finn, but I also wanted him to see all the cool rigs that were around Garden City Classics. The mechanical wizard that would be looking at Finn was Martin. Now, Martin's not really one for the camera, he's more about the cars, and it turns out that's a really good thing. The first step was to diagnose the issue, so we had to reproduce the problem I'd been experiencing. This turned out to be the easiest part of the whole project. When I turned on my front ARB compressor and front air locker, the compressor would run constantly, and I could hear air escaping from somewhere, or really from everywhere. Martin, being the savvy problem solver he is, wanted to make sure the connection at the bulkhead was tight before moving on to anything else. He tightened it up, and we still had air escaping everywhere. So he decided it was time to open up the differential and take a closer look. And when we opened it up, things look even worse than we imagined.
So you hear that sound? That's the sound of my air locker just leaking like a sieve. And so we've gone through and looked at the hose, at the connections. We just pulled the diff cover off. So we're looking at where the brake and air tightness might be. I hope we find it soon because it doesn't seem like it's getting any better.
It turns out the copper air hose was basically pinched and jammed into the banjo joint that connects the air locker into the air line from the compressor.
So there's nothing going through that hose.
With considerable effort, Martin got it out, cut a fresh cut, and flanged the copper tubing to allow for better airflow.
Look at that little tiny copper tube causing so many problems. And this is a family channel or I'd be swearing right now.
Next, we had to replace the banjo joint because the one that was originally installed was incomplete. Yeah, it was missing parts. It's a wonder my locker ever worked at all.
So I feel like I'm getting some special treatment, which I'm fine with because Jalen, the owner, one of the owners, is working on my Jeep. And it's amazing how hard it is to just get things out and get things in. They've already figured out what the problem is or how to test the problem, but like getting the fitting off or getting it back in or getting the new washers on. It's taking 2 people to do it. So I'm not gonna disparage the people who initially did this install, but I can tell you that what's happening now is a lot harder than it probably should have been. And I'm just grateful that I have it someplace where there's experts who know what they're doing working on it.
With the new banjo joint installed, we fired it up and tried again. This time, it sounded like the compressor was pulsing. Not as bad as before, but certainly not airtight. Martin used some fancy listening devices to try and find the source of the leak, and we all agreed it was coming from inside the locker. It was at this point that we knew the locker had to come out. But also, I had to get my kids from school, so Finn stayed overnight, and Chris gave me a ride home.
So Chris is gonna give me a ride home because they're gonna keep Finn overnight to pull the axles and replace the seal bearing in the morning. So we'll come back tomorrow, see how it's going, check in with the guys, and hopefully get Finn all fixed up.
The next day I got a call that the locker had been pulled and there was a bad internal seal that had metal shavings in it from a bad gear install. Yikes. I had them replace the entire O-ring and we agreed to keep an eye on it. So, how did Finn do after Martin's handiwork at Garden City Classics? Well, see for yourself. The very next weekend, we did this. And a little of this. And some of this. Here's the lesson I learned. Be careful who you let install things on your rig. Find someone you trust and someone who has a lot of experience with your type of rig, because a bad install, especially with something like gears and lockers, can create some really big and really expensive problems down the road. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
It's a good thing I have good insurance. Actually, I don't know if I have good insurance.